I will be upfront and honest. I think Jake Moody was terrible. He was awful. That 52-yard kick he made was incredible. Barely squeaked it in, but I don't care. It counted. That was huge. His kickoffs were awful. A big reason why the points that were scored by the Packers offense was Jake Moody. Terrible kick on kickoff. Allowed an easy return. Ball didn't even get to the 10-yard line. He's just so inconsistent whenever he makes contact with the ball. He is so inconsistent. I'm not a Jake Moody guy. It's funny. People were calling me like Jake Moody apologist and stuff. And I was like, what? Like, do y'all not remember? Like, this is the screenshot when we drafted him in the 3rd round. Like, you can't make that up. Shout out to the man, Brian Carter. Like, no, I have never been a Jake Moody apologist. What I have said and what I will continue to say is you can't change now. You got to stick with this dude. You spent a 3rd round pick on him. He's had a decent year. And no pressure kicks up until this point. Missed his first one, right? Got blocked. RTP says, go back, look at the kick. It was online when it left his foot. Pat got great penetration. Look, as a special teams guy, if that kick gets blocked, that's on the kicker. You've got to get the ball up. You have to. That's on the kicker. The timing, all those things. We'll break down all the tape of every single kick from 3 separate angles, and I'll show you. Yeah, the offensive line cannot move forward on extra point or field goal. They literally lock their feet behind each other, and you just freaking Red Rover, let the defense come over, and you just get tough, and you just whatever. It's not about the penetration up the middle. It's not that. If you kick the ball and it's low, that's an issue. And to further go with my point, whenever he made his 52-yard field goal, Jake Moody added 1.5 yards. Well, whether it was, I don't know who's, whatever. If I would love somebody to ask this question in a press conference, but typically you add 17 to 18 yards to wherever the ball is being snapped. So, for example, if the ball's being snapped at the 40, usually the holder is 7 to 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Then you add 10 yards, the end zone. That's where you get the length of the field goal. So if the line of scrimmage is the 40, that's a 57-yard field goal, right? Well, whenever they were lined up to kick the field goal, I was like, okay, this is going to be a 50-yard field goal, 51 maybe. It was 52. Why? They slid the holder back an additional yard that I have not seen them do. I haven't seen them do that this year. That was a new thing. Why? Because the trajectory had been low. And if you look at the 52-yard field goal that he made, guess what? The trajectory was low. And so they slid them back even further. It's on Jake Moody. I'm sorry. People could disagree with me. That's my opinion. Opinions are okay. But I'm telling you, as a guy that was a special teams coordinator that coached kickers for literally a decade, that's on the kicker. You got to get the ball up. The location, and if you look at the kickoffs that were terrible, he had 2 terrible kickoffs. You saw that, like, all those things are in line with each other. Now, he made the 52-yarder when it counted. It barely squeaked in, but I don't care. It's 3 points nonetheless. Guess what? You look at the score, right? It kind of what happened there. What was the final score? 24-21. We got it. So I think that you can check off pressure kick made. That's huge. Was he good this game? No. I really wish he just kicked the damn ball in the end zone on kickoffs. That's a touchdown in and of itself. So frustrating.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.